It really is. And before we get started here, I just want to tell everybody today is a celebration of those young men that made the 40-year decision to come to the University. 40-year decision to come to the University of Kentucky. So we're going to be positive. We're going to get after it. So if you're not fired up, you may want to turn out because I'm ready to get after it.
It's a national holiday.
Yeah, the next guy we're going to talk about, Levon Livingston, is a mammoth kid, 6'7", a little lean, John, but here's a guy that played both ways. You're going to see a lot of him defensively as well in these clips. He had 19.5 sacks. You guys project him as an offensive lineman. Why?
Well, we loved his athleticism. Again, I mean, he plays a lot of D-line. He's long. He is lean right now, but we feel like with his frame, he's not going to have any problems getting here and gaining weight. And again, he came to camp and showed us what he could do in camp. In a setting where we had our hands on him, and man, he did a great job. So we're really fired up.
Wait till you see that. I mean, this is a kid that really plays all over Washington D.C. area, so
Right.
The greater metro area there, and the number 1 defensive tackle in the Washington D.C. area. So let's look at him and tell me what you liked about him.
Okay, you can see he's right lined up where that arrow is right there. See his ball get off, first of all. You know, Coach Maynard did a great job of recruiting Levon. You can watch. He has that ball get off and speed. And I know he had a bunch of sacks. I don't know, I think maybe 19 sacks or something crazy like that. So, the fact that he plays both ways, too, he never comes out of the game. So when he just concentrates on playing offensive line, what he's going to turn into is it's exciting. 6'7", I mean, his frame, his length, again, reach. I think he had an 84-inch wingspan, which is, there's NFL tackles that don't have that. You can see his ball get off right here. Change of direction. See how he put his foot in the ground, came back, and that quarterback, that's probably a 175-pound guy. Here he is coming off the edge.
Look at his size.
And you can see him run, and usually he's pretty angry when he gets wherever he's going, and you like that as an offensive line coach too, guy that's going to be physical. I mean, you don't see 6'7" guys do this right here, where he comes off the ball, sticks his foot in the ground, changes direction, and makes the tackle on the zone read. I mean, that's something that he's got. Here he's playing tackle. You can see him pull around and just makes it look pretty effortless, and does really well here. I think he's pass pro in here. We got to see him do that when he came to camp, and that really impressed us, just being able to pass pro out there on the edge. I think this one he pulls around, fits up a second-level defender, gets out there, makes a block in space.
To me, with those feet, his pull trap ability looks like very advanced.
Yeah, it is.
For a raw player.
It is raw, and obviously, he's going to work on those things when he gets here, but he's definitely got the skill set and the length and a lot of those intangibles that we're looking for.
And it's Freddie. I heard Freddie mention this. It's not bad to redshirt an offensive lineman here, and this could be a kid who obviously now you're going to put him on that offensive line, needs to learn, needs to get a little bit bigger size. So you're never going to say this at this point, but could be a redshirt possibility with this kid.
Could be. I mean, we'll get him in here and see where he's at. But, I think a year, 2 years from now, he's going to look a lot different than he does when he comes in here day one.
Again, the thing that's most amazing to me when you look at this, and you were a medium-sized player, but these guys getting off the bus, this is SEC size that we're recruiting now.
Absolutely. And when you talk about the 3 guys we just talked about, to go along with George Asafa, I mean, you're talking about guys that are 6'6", 6'7", 6'5", and 6'5". They've got that length and that size that you're looking for in this conference.
I got to ask you this because you weren't in here when we talked about George Asafa, but the one of the best kids I've met, and just goes in there and throws weights around the weight room.
Yeah, I mean, he's
an
got
animal.
Oh, I think the first time when I went by and got to look at him and lift weights in person, he threw 255 pounds on the bench press before just to get started, just for a warm up. And I said that probably would crush me these days, but he got in there and did that about 12 times. I said I think he's strong enough.
Wow, it's absolutely amazing. Congratulations, a fantastic class, and I am so looking forward to the 40-yard dash between you and Freddie.
Yeah, I don't know if I am.
All right, thanks, big guy. Let's head back outside to Dick and Freddie.
Freddie's already been stretching, John, so you need to be aware of that. He's all set. Levon Livingston.
I do have my new shoes on. I bought
That's
just
true.
for today.
He's got the, and they're blue.
You
by
can't
the way,
see
of
these,
course.
but I have some sweet kicks on I bought just for this
They
day.
are blue. I can attest to that.
That's right.
All right. Another DC athlete. This draft could be subtitled "Mr. Stoops Goes to Washington."
Right, or Mr. Maynard goes to Washington.
That's true too. I mean, so much talent over there. And is this a new pipeline?
I surely hope so.
Yeah.
The DC metro area is just loaded with athletes. A lot of them stay in the Midwest. Florida State, Alabama frequently go up there. Kentucky's going up there and getting a really good one here with Levon Livingston. You and I talked earlier, and I said something. I don't want to put pressure on this kid, but I described him as a future pro. Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, Levon, if you're watching. That's how high I think of this kid.
Yeah.
At 6'7", 250 with arm length, he's got the ability to play offensive tackle and defensive tackle. A player he reminds me of is from Oregon, Eric Armstead.
Yeah.
Played at Oregon. He's reminiscent of that. He's a prototypical left tackle at 6'7", with that arm length. He will gain 50 to 55 pounds within 3-4 heartbeats. That's how quickly he'll put weight on here. The first thing that Levon will need to do when he arrives in Lexington is meet a gentleman by the name of Eric Corum.
That's correct.
And the nutrition program. And trust me, just watch this kid develop. He excelled against elite talent at Ballou High School there in Metro D.C. He has Levon has a desired height and arm length from a left tackle.
Again,
perfect, yeah. And his ceiling through the roof. Through the roof. His hometown, Washington, D.C., as we talked about, coached by Jason Lane. North Carolina State, West Virginia recruited him. Late in the process, in come Penn State, in come Michigan State, and so many others. Yeah.
But what was he?
He was steadfast and loyal.
See?
There you go, to the commitment. Tommy Maynard goes up to D.C., gets another quality player. He could have played defensive tackle, but I think his future – and eventually his future as an earner is at left tackle.
Well, that's my next question. Why is that?
Because a 6'7" defensive tackle sometimes becomes a liability because
it's pad level.
The pad level.
Yeah.
A 6'7" left tackle, perfect.
Yeah.
With that arm length, you can't get around them.
Yeah.
So that's the perfect desired arm length and strength and height for an offensive lineman. Get him here, redshirt him, let him get in the nutrition program, the weight program. Get him coached up under John Schlarman. Don't have to play immediately.
Right.
This kid could be a star. And I hate to put that pro thing on. He has the potential to be a pro. Let's just go there. Yeah. My question here is how in the world did he get out of Washington, D.C.? Again, Kentucky, credit has to go to Mark Stoops and his staff for evaluating talent early.
That's right.
Kentucky's the first offer for many of these players that eventually everybody in the country comes after, but you have to credit Mark Stoops, Vince Marrow, and this whole staff for identifying talent early, offering early, and then here in this case, keeping Levon Livingston committed and signed with the University of Kentucky.
Well, and we joke and smile about it. It's not really a joke about being steadfast and loyal, but with a lot of young men, and through the years, and I've done this a little while, as you know, I can't tell you how many times we ask young men, why Kentucky? They were the first ones to offer me. That means a lot to kids.
It does. It really does. That shows, when you're young, you're an impressionable young man at 16, 17 years old, and a major university comes to watch you practice or comes to your school and offers you a free education, a free place to live, clothes on your back, food, travel, and
books
a chance
and tuition,
a chance to play football in the SEC. That means a lot.
Yeah.
That offer is the first connectivity between coach and player. And with this young man right here, potential is as high as anybody or higher than anybody in this class because of the fact that he can put on 50 to 60 pounds and be a different person and be an impactful left tackle.